Please join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would please join me in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the president of Davis and Elkins College, Mr. Chris Wood.
Thank you very much, and welcome to each of you to this 2019 session of the Rhododendron Girls State. We're thrilled to have you on this campus. We're very pleased to welcome you not only to Elkins and to Davis and Elkins College, but today we welcome you to the Miles Center for the Arts and Harper McNeely Auditorium. This will be oftentimes your home over the course of the next week as you go through Girls State. I think it's very appropriate that you're on this campus, and during the course of this week, you are going to hear from two of our United States senators, both from West Virginia. Very appropriate, because Davis and Elkins is named for two United States senators. Senator Henry Gassaway Davis, Senator Stephen B. Elkins. They were in the Senate in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. They were industrialists. They brought the railroad to this part of West Virginia so that timber and coal could be exported out of here. And much of what we have within this state is due in large part to Senators Davis and Senator Elkins. You're going to see Halliehurst and Graceland. Those are two mansions that sit on this campus. They were the summer homes of our two founding senators. And again, we are very pleased to welcome you to those beautiful structures as well as all of the beauty that surrounds us here on in the mountains of Randolph County. The home of two senators, where we are leading the way as an institution of higher education. You're going to see that a lot this week at D&E, and you're going to hear a lot about leading the way, and indeed you are going to experience what it is to lead the way when you're at Davis and Elkins College. I want to congratulate each of you for your selection to attend Rhododendron Girls State. You are some of the top students in our state and the high schools. You are selected because you are leaders. Leaders. Leadership is something so critical that we need desperately within West Virginia, something that's going to continue to propel us forward as a state, and we look forward to working with you as you assume those roles. Each of you, as you enter your senior year of high school, I know you are looking to the future, and I hope that each of you is considering the college, the university that you will attend. I do hope that wherever you end up in college or universities, that you certainly take a good, hard look at the schools that we have within West Virginia, We have some very fine public universities and colleges. We have some very fine private universities and colleges as well. Take a good look what we have in state before you choose to look out of state. I have to tell you, and this may not surprise you since I am the president of Davis & Elkins, but I think we've got a pretty good private institution right here in Elkins. We certainly have a beautiful setting for an institution of higher education, and in many ways this is the gem of the mountains here in Randolph County. As you walked into this building, not from your dinner, but probably earlier, you walked across the plaza that is out in front of this building. And just in about a month, we're going to begin the first construction project of more. And I wanted to show you just a glimpse of what the Miles Plaza and the Forum, the large room outside of this, is going to look like in just a few months when that construction is finished. Call your attention to the screen. The natural beauty around us enhanced by the coming construction at the college, and we invite you to come back and to see that finished product. Davis & Elkins, D&E we call it. The D not only stands for Davis, it stands for distinction. And the E not only stands for Elkins, but it stands for excellence. Distinction and excellence is what we are all about. We're devoted to small class sizes for our students. We're devoted to professors that work with our students from day one. We are devoted to helping our students to find their sense of vocation, to find that which brings purpose and meaning and passion to their lives, and to combine that with their careers. That's what Davis & Elkins College is all about. I hope that for some of you in this room, you will consider becoming students here in just over a year. I hope that you'll consider coming and joining us and becoming senators, leading the way, as you will be leading this week at Rhododendron Girls State. There's significant scholarship aid that is already available to you at D&E as a result of you being a West Virginian. But in addition to that, I am also pleased to share with you that because of our commitment to this program, to Rhododendron Girls State, we are making available to any of you that choose to come to Davis & Elkins an additional scholarship of $5,000 per year for your time here. That's our commitment to you, because we believe in you, and we believe in the leadership that you bring, and we want to be a part of helping that leadership to continue to be sharpened, to help that leadership continue to make a difference in this state. We would love to see you at Davis & Elkins, but wherever you end up, may your years in college be transformative for you. And I hope that for almost all, you will remain a part of West Virginia remain a part of moving this state forward. We're thrilled to have you on campus this week. We wish you a wonderful week at Rhododendron Girls State. I know it is going to truly be a week that will not only change your lives, it's a week that you will remember for the rest of your lives. And we're very pleased that you're here at D&E to share it.
Thank you, President Wood. It is truly an honor for Rhododendron Girls State to be on this beautiful campus, because we are very grateful for everything that you have done and your staff has done to ensure that these outstanding young ladies have a wonderful week. So thank you, and thank all the staff that's working to ensure that you have a wonderful week. And ladies, it is a pleasure to stand before you, and actually a privilege to welcome you to Rhododendron Girls State. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here this evening, even if your mom did coerce you to attend, because I have no doubt that at the end of this week, you will be thanking your mom for pushing you to attend an event that's one of the most prestigious experiential learning programs of Americanism, patriotism, and leadership in the entire country. And the week that we have planned for you is totally awesome, lots of great speakers, and again, you need to be commended for being chosen to attend Rhododendron Girls State, because you are truly part of an elite group across the country that are afforded the opportunity to experience a week that could truly be life-changing. So with that, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And if I have anything to ask of President Wood, it would be to say more prayers to hold off the weather. They did a fantastic job today because we were calling for rain, and we got through with sunshine for the most part. So thank you. So let's begin making some awesome memories. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you someone that you're going to be seeing a lot this week. It's our Assistant Director of Rhododendron Girls State, who, as she said earlier, down in the lunchroom or the dining hall or the gym, she is also the Vice President of Enrollment Management and Institutional Advancement right here at Davis and Elkins College. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Rosemary Thomas.
Thank you, Michelle. Michelle has done a fabulous job in leading the way, truly, for Rhododendron Girls State and bringing us to this point where we are tonight. This is a year-round commitment. It is a 365-day-a-year commitment that comes from our hearts. It's a connection that has spanned decades between Michelle and I. It's also a connection that has spanned not only decades, but generations between our next speaker and myself. We didn't attend Girls State together, and our mothers didn't attend Girls State together. There were a couple years in between each of us. But our paths have crossed and continue to cross in ways that I know God has a hand in a way that I know remains inspiring for me on a personal and professional level, in a way that I know will be a lot of fun for you here this evening. Our next speaker is Lisa Wood. Lisa Wood has many titles. She has many fabulous attributes. But Lisa's one of those people that lives by that quote that we all know so well, that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. She cares. She's an educator. I think she was truly born to be an educator. She's a leader. I know that she was born to be a leader as well. She's a true friend, and she is someone that believes, like I do, that you are not the leaders of tomorrow, but in fact, as President Wood pointed out, and yes, they do happen to know one another, that you are the leaders of today. You're already leaders in your schools and in your communities. When Lisa and Chris moved to this community 3 years ago, is that right? 3 years ago. I was a year behind them. It took me a while to find my way here. But when they came here, Lisa's first commitment was to this campus that had brought them home to these beautiful West Virginia hills. She has recently taken on the role of the executive director of our local Chamber of Commerce. People talked about when the Woods got to town, I wonder what the relationship will be between the college and the community. And ladies and gentlemen, I would say both of these individuals, President Wood and Lisa Wood, have put into action their beliefs and their values, making it seamless. That was also the case when they knew they were coming here, and even before I was invited to be part of the team, they said, we want Girls State at Davis and Elkins College. We want Girls State at Davis and Elkins College because we believe in the program itself, because it's no accident that there's a Veterans Plaza on this campus, because it's no accident that there's a significant Veterans Memorial in this town, because it's no accident that West Virginia truly has some of the finest young minds and the boldest young hearts anywhere across this nation. Lisa was a citizen at Girls State when it was at Jackson's Mill, as was I. Today, we actually should have taken a picture because we realized, and Angie Scott, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Which year were you? 87, we're missing 86. If we had an 86, we could have taken 5 years in a row today. We had an 82, an 83, an 84, and an 85 checking you in. So we need to find an 86, and we'll get Angie Scott in the picture, 87. Ladies, at the end of this week, we're gonna teach you a song, and you're gonna learn this song, and you're gonna carry it with you. Yes, it's one of those songs that's gonna get stuck in your head, but this one for good reason. It's friends we are and friends we'll ever be. Where'er we are, we'll follow faithfully. Girls State girls will always be, till the end of time. It doesn't go away. It manifests in your life in ways that you can't even imagine here today. But it manifests in your life in the form of friendships and relationships that are beyond any comparison that I can properly explain to you. I too congratulate you for showing up because you're going to experience it firsthand. And with that, I invite to the podium my dear friend and Girls State girl, Lisa Wood.
Give me a second here. Howdy, partners. I'm a rootin' tootin' cowgirl, and I'm here to tell you this. If you vote for me, you just can't miss. The Double L Ranch is where I hail from. With me as Secretary of State, the meetings will be fun. I'm kind, sincere, friendly, and never ever pout. I'm smart, honest, and loyal. Heck, I should have been a Boy Scout. I'd like to be your Secretary of State. So please listen to this quote. When you go to the ballot box, let Lisa lasso your vote. Okay. Girls, you're gonna have to learn to cheer. It's the thing, okay? All right. That's me. It was June of 1982. I'm residing in a cabin at Jackson's Mill in Lewis County. Somehow, I garnered up the courage with the support of my community to run for Secretary of State. And with that speech that you just heard, I won the primary election. I was so excited. A. James Manchin, then the Secretary of State of West Virginia, he came and had lunch with me and my person on the other party. Unfortunately, I didn't win. I didn't win the general election. Maybe if I'd had this hat, I might have won. But I really didn't care. It was a transformational week for me. I made a lot of friends, I had a blast, and I learned so much. But more importantly, I learned what real leadership looks like, and it wasn't what I expected. I arrived that Sunday afternoon after making a crazy trip via Ripley. Every time I say something that you love or you're connected to, woohoo, Ripley. There we go, thank you. From Huntington to Jackson's Mill. There we go, see, we're getting it. My mom had decided we should make the trip via the exact route she had taken from Huntington to Jackson's Mill 21 years before. Like I-79 was there, and she chose not to take it. Nostalgic, to be sure, but Donna, one of my best friends and the other citizen from Huntington High School, woo, was green by the time we arrived. Oh, there's Donna. Donna is a kindergarten teacher in Kanawha County. Woo! Donna Hatfield was her name then. We checked in, just like you did today, and found our assigned community. 10 communities then, 10 communities now. We're going to take a quick break from my story to see which community here tonight possesses the amount of energy it's going to take to propel your citizens into office. So here's a photo of us cheering in 1982. Woo! Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Are you ready? And if you're a Girls State alum sitting up here or down there, you can stand up, cheer. Let's start with my community in 1982, Marion. Okay, I got 10 to get through, girls, okay? The girls I chucked in today, Calhoun. The county in which I now reside, Randolph. Webster. Monongalia. They were split. Upshur. Braxton. Lewis. Monroe. Oh, yeah, we left out that big one, Kanawha. Very good. It was not alphabetical. I don't like things alphabetical. My last name starts with a W. Anyway, I moved into my community that afternoon and into a whole new way of thinking. I make friends easily, so that wasn't too difficult for me. If you do tend to sit back and, you're one of those people that waits, or, take a risk this week. Make a new friend. Maybe you already have. Life is too short to wait around. You've made it to Girls State. There is something in you that somebody in your world sees, something good. Take advantage of that confirmation. Find yourself this week. So let's do an activity, another one, because the screaming and yelling was good. So you can do this in your head, or on paper and, a writing utensil if you have it, or on your phone. And let me be clear, you have permission right now to be on your phone. However, don't be on your phone face away from the presenters this week. Well, first of all, it's rude. But more importantly, you might miss something. And when you're older, you'll reflect on this week, and you'd wish you'd spent more time engaged with other citizens, counselors, or presenters, and less time with your face down, shoulders hunched, and staring at a screen. I attended a women's conference just 2 days ago, and I'm going to steal this exercise from my presenter. I had this whole great speech, and then I went to this conference on Friday, and I changed it. So there's a few women in the auditorium who did this with me on Friday, so forgive me, but it was good, so we're going to do it. Okay, are you ready? Pen or phone or head. I want you to think of the 3 people in this world who have most positively influenced your life, influenced you to be the person that you are here now. It can be anyone, so think about it for just a second. Now, in your mind, attach a word to that person to define why they are an influence on you. A character trait, a noun, an adjective. That's the teacher in me coming out. It doesn't matter. Just a word that helps you define that influence. The words I came up with when I made my list were ethical, enthusiastic, diversity. Those were 3 of the words I came up with. So you got your people? Cheer. Okay. You got the characteristics? Okay, so here's a few questions. Raise your hand if it applies to you, okay? So, who listed one of your parents? Yeah. Who listed a sibling? Nice. A grandparent? Another family member that I didn't mention? How about a teacher? How about somebody else in the school who's not a teacher? Like a counselor or a coach. How about a coach? Anybody have a coach in there? Nice. How about like a dance instructor, someone in church that you know? Raise your hand if one of those 3 people is someone you've actually never met. Oh, just a few. So let's hear some of the words that you use to describe those people. Let's just shout them out. This side, shout out. Okay, I'm not hearing you, so okay. Okay, well, let's try for here. Free-spirited, I heard that one. Kind-hearted. Again. Supportive. Okay, I'm not really hearing you very well. I'm either old or the echo or whatever, but you heard them, and that's what's important. All right? So here's the thing. We want to say leaders are the important people, the people with the high-powered jobs, the people who society deems are leaders, but that isn't how we should identify leaders. Leaders are people who influence others. Let's say that together. Ready? Leaders are people who influence others. That's it. Sure, some high-powered people are also leaders, but don't confuse guest speakers or people with charisma or people in high places with what true leadership looks like. Leadership is influencing others, and hopefully in a positive way. All those characteristics you shouted out, those are the words that we connect with leadership. Think about the 3 words you connected with your influencers. Do you know those characteristics because they come from those influencers in your lives? Are the characteristics you hold most dear? And those characteristics are the ones that can shape you into the leader you are and the leader you can be. Embrace what is offered to you this week. Learn as much as you can. Smile often. Smile and laugh until you cry. And you'll cry Thursday evening in your white dresses. Yes, we all wore them too. And I'm going to time out here. That lady right there on the very corner, well, her name was Diana Fenton. She's now Diana Leo. Anybody know her? Woo! Yeah. She's pretty much the one. You make one really great friend, and she and I were both, tentative about this whole rhododendron Girl State thing, and her bunk was right beside mine, and I just loved her, and I still do, and I just think it's great, the friends that you're going to make. because you're gonna cry, okay? Thursday evening in your white dresses, you're gonna cry. And you'll probably cry Friday when you leave. Is that when they leave, Friday? Yeah, that's what I thought. I was making sure. Yeah, well, if you leave on Friday and you're not supposed to leave on Friday, that's a bad thing. But trust me, they're gonna be tears of joy. You'll have made friends, you will have had fun, and maybe you will have found yourself. Before I go, I have to share something from my favorite writer. Here you go. Yeah, you know, they said I wore many hats. Yeah, you didn't know it was literally. So congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Citizens, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you, Lisa. I don't think we can top that tonight. But I will say, I am so impressed with you ladies already, because usually at our opening ceremony, we hear nothing. And you're sitting there and you're just like, what am I doing here? I want to go home. So thank you for the wonderful attention that you're giving to everyone here this evening. And I can tell, junior and senior counselors, you got your work cut out for you this week. This is a good crowd. Okay, at this time, I'd like to introduce to you our American Legion Auxiliary Department President, State President, Miss Rhonda Best.
Thank you, Michelle. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin with saying how honored and blessed I am to be able to attend here this evening to your opening ceremony and see all of you wonderful ladies that are just at the beginning of your exciting and learning week. And I have to say, Lisa has gotten me very excited and motivated myself, and I'm not even allowed to be here the rest of the week. But I want to say that it is wonderful, the information, the program. It's such a wonderful program, and I'm glad to be part of it, that you ladies will be able to participate in throughout the week. All of the friends that you will get to know. I was never able to be part of Girl State. When I was in high school, I did not even know about the program. So I am so glad that it is out there. More ladies are getting to know the information, the program, and more ladies are able to attend. Also, what I want to do before, I'd like to thank Director Michelle Serball, all of the staff that is here this week, all of the hard work and volunteer hours that they put into this program. Thank you. And one thing that we do when we go to conferences and conventions for the American Legion Auxiliary, and it started with actually at the workshop this past year with our junior members. And they wanted to come in and they wanted to say ALA rocks. What I would love for us to do is say RGS rocks, Rhododendron Girl State, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. RGS rocks! Thank you, ladies.
Well, ladies, tonight we have a very special guest, and I don't think we have ever had a National Vice Commander attend Rhododendron Girls State. But tonight we have our National Vice Commander, James Wallace. He's a member of Post 419 in Pinckney, Michigan, a U.S. Army veteran of the Vietnam era. Wallace has served as Department of Michigan Commander, Department Finance Committee, Department Public Relations Director, Department Director of Membership, Department Assistant Director of Membership. He's a leader, isn't he? And 6th District Commander. He is a member of the National American Legion Press Association, a 2012 National American Legion College graduate, and charter member post of 419's Legion Riders chapter. Wallace also served on the National Security Committee and was committee man on the Americanism Council. Ladies, our National Vice Commander, James Wallace.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that great introduction. Distinguished guests, Mr. President, thank you for having us here, and thank you for having me here, Michelle, to address this great collection of young ladies at the Girls State program. It's an honor to be here. It's also a joy to be here. Before I get into my 45-minute speech I have here, I have to do one thing here. I'd like to introduce my wife, Linda, who's traveling with me. I've been fortunate to have her enjoy this great opportunity I have with a national organization throughout this year. And she has been my navigator so I don't get lost. Maybe we should have used that on the way here, Commander. We won't get into that. But anyways, it's a pleasure to be here. Girls State, what a program. It's been around 77 years here in this state, is that correct? Excuse me. You came in yesterday, or yesterday you were girls. Today you're young ladies, and you will be that for the rest of your life, ladies, because this program will bring it out in you. It'll make you so desirable to go out and make a success of yourself. It is the opportunity of a lifetime that you have here, and you only have one chance to do this. It's only offered between your junior and senior year. So I also ask that when you leave here, to go back to your school and tell them you're going to realize this on Friday, because I know you will, how much fun, how much experience you gained, and how much action you did here at Girls State and spread the word. I hereby deem every one of you ambassadors of the Girls State program. You have to go out and sell this program. You have to go out and make sure that other young ladies like you have the opportunity that you are going to enjoy this week. Is that okay? Everybody accept that appointment? All right, good, thank you. Your interest that you have shown for this week in the Girls State program will give you a lifetime of returns. Some colleges even offer credits for you attending the Girls State program. Not all of them, but some of them do. Check that out when you apply for college. You might get an extra credit or two. Who's ever paying for it will probably like it too, also. This week you will learn about the government's procedure and the political actions that go on. However, the main goal is not that. It's the honor and the leadership that you will gain for this week. It will take you and push you out of your comfort zone and make you the strong women that you are, the intellectual women that you are, the physically and mentally motivated women that you will become. A successful woman will follow. The need for this program is to show patriotism. It'll show hard work, and it'll show diversity. Please keep those in your mind as you go through this next week. I have one little story I'd like to tell. It happened in Michigan. It happened to a boy who just finished Boys State. He loved the program so much. When he turned 18, 3 weeks later, he ran for office in his local town called Albion in Michigan. He ran for mayor. And he learned how to do that with the tools that he received from him going to Boys State, same as the tools you will learn while you are here at Girls State. And at 18 years old, in November of that year, he was elected mayor of his hometown. That is what Boys State does. That is what Girls State can do for you. If you have any desire to be in a political office, run for any office, political or not, you will learn those tools this week. He was a mayor of that city for 8 years because of that. Can you imagine that? Coming right out of Boys State and doing that. Graduating from high school and being a mayor of a town. Those are just some of the things that can happen to you. You will make your own dreams. You will make your own activities. You will make your own life come true because of what you learned this week. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you. Good luck, enjoy, have fun, and one big hurrah. And the hurrah goes to you. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Department of West Virginia American Legion's Department Commander, Mr. Bill Combs, and be nice to him. He is a bit nervous this evening, so let's give him a warm welcome. You got this.
All right, girls. I'm your papaw. I got something to say. Learn all you can while you're here. When you leave here, take it with you. This country needs you. You got your whole life in front of you. I just graduated from high school. I haven't got a bit of college behind me at all, except the school of hard knocks and a little bit of military. But I do know that we need people, ladies and boys, in Boys State, we need those kind of people to lead our country on, to lead our country through the Constitution, and teach everybody about it. Be proud that you're American. You don't know what it is until you have lived overseas and see the way some of the other countries are. You don't know what you got till you lose it. So study hard, work hard, play hard, and have a good time. And God bless Girls State. God bless the auxiliary. God bless the American Legion, and God bless this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Paw Paw. Ladies, the American Legion Auxiliary that sponsors Rhododendron Girl State and sponsors Girl State all across the country, because every state has a Girl State program. Our sole mission as auxiliary members is to support the American Legion in their purpose to provide for our veterans both home and abroad. Because without the sacrifices that our veterans make each and every day, we would not be here today enjoying the freedoms and liberties that we so often take for granted. And right now, I would just kind of like to see how many families we have here in the audience that have active military, whether it be a mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, a grandparent that has served. How many people do we have here? How many are active right now that have military? Stand up, because we can see you better if you stand up. Well, we thank your parents or your brother, sister, aunt, uncle for the service that they're doing. We greatly appreciate it. We know it's not easy. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you a young lady who you're going to see quite often this week, because not only is she serving as a junior counselor, she is also your Girl State governor. She knows all too well the emotions that you are going through as she was sitting here this time last year. She had no intentions of running for governor until she got here. And ladies, it was not as exciting last year at the opening assembly as it was this year. So you guys have a lot going for you this year. She ran for governor and she did it successfully. She's a recent graduate of Wheeling Park High School. She's was a member of her theater club, orchestra, foreign language club, speech and debate member, whose team currently holds its 40th consecutive win in the state. She was a national member of the National Honor Society, National French Honor Society. So if she starts speaking French, I guess we better watch out. And a national speech and debate member. She will be attending West Virginia University in the fall with a double major in political science and international studies. Nataya also volunteers at Oglebay Good Zoo and her local animal shelter. She's also on the YWCA Youth Board and participates in local community theater plays. Ladies, it is my pleasure to introduce to you your 2018 Rhododendron Girl State Governor, Ms. Nataya Bartlett. I expect great things out of you this week. I'm going to pin her governor's key, so if she screams, I screwed up. And I also like to present to you your governor's gavel. Please use it wisely this week.
Oh, I will.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Ladies, your 2018 Rhododendron Girl State Governor. Okay, ladies, it's finally time to make it official. For you to be sworn in as Rhododendron Girl State citizens and for the fun to begin. So it's my pleasure this evening to introduce to you Judge Lori Haynes. Judge Haynes is a native of St. Mary's, West Virginia. She graduated from Davis and Elkins College in 1995 with a bachelor's degree in communication and political science. She obtained her law degree in 2008 from West Virginia University College of Law. Upon completing law school, she worked at private practice at Carnegie Law Office here in Elkins, where she focused on criminal law and family law until 2012. In 2012, she became an assistant prosecuting attorney for Randolph County, where she worked until she took office as family court judge. She was elected to the bench in the 22nd Family Court Circuit for Randolph and Tucker counties in May of 2016 and took office on January the 1st, 2017. Judge Haynes lives in Elkins with her husband, Boris, and their 3 children. Ladies, let's welcome Judge Lori Haynes.
Hi. So slideshows and props. I got my work cut out for me tonight, girls. Hello, and congratulations, you guys. It is an honor for you to be selected to Girls State. The fact that you're here tells me a lot about you, that you're going to be some of the girls who are going to be making a difference in this world. So congratulations for being selected. So I see some friendly faces. I see Jensen, who is a senior counselor this year. And I know several of the girls that are here from Randolph County. Isabella, who yelled to me, Sophia, and Alyssa. Welcome, girls. Where are my Pleasance County girls that are from St. Mary's? Where are you? Stand up. Yell to me. All right. So something that wasn't in my bio that Michelle gave was that actually when I attended St. Mary's High School, I was on the basketball team, and we actually, my junior and senior year, won the state championship both those years. Thank you. I'm glad you clapped because I actually made a note, wait for roaring applause to subside. So thank you for clapping. So as Michelle said, I am the family court judge. I handle Randolph and Tucker counties. The family court judge position is an elected position. It is nonpartisan, however, means that I don't run as a Democrat or a Republican. Part of my duties as a family court judge is that I handle divorces and custody, child support, and domestic violence. So, it's a lot of not that great part of life that sometimes happens, but that's what a family court judge does. But in getting to that position, I did have to campaign. I'm going to steal Lisa's campaign speech next time. So I did have to campaign, and so I had to do kind of what you guys are going to get a little bit of taste of this week. Before I begin my planned speech, I just wanted to take a moment, and you've heard it from everybody, but I'm going to take a moment too because I wrote it down. So, I want you to really take in everything that's offered to you this week. You're going to learn some things. You're going to make some friends. You are hopefully going to form relationships that will last a lifetime. Support each other this week. Help each other. And make memories that you're going to be able to look back and cherish. So today, I would like to talk to you. I always break things down to like 3 things. That's my thing. I don't know why. So I've got kind of 3 categories that I'd like to talk to you about. The first category I would like to talk to you about is something that I hope, and all the things I'm going to talk to you about today, I hope you take with them and are able to incorporate them in just who you are and to use for the rest of your life. One thing I want you to do is to understand your worth. You all are some of the brightest girls in the state, but And that's why you're here, because you're the brightest, right? But unfortunately, just being smart does not always mean that you are confident in your own abilities. It doesn't mean that you always know what it is that you bring to the table and how valuable that you are. It's my goal today to try to help you do this. It is so important that you understand your worth. I want each and every one of you to know that in every aspect of your life, you never have to settle. C.S. Lewis said, "We are what we believe we are." I had another quote here, and the quote was, "When you know your worth, no one can make you feel worthless." The author of that, when I was looking things up, it said it was anonymous. So I don't know who wrote it, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the principal of Wood County or Ashton Kutcher. So let me start with, in academia, I promise you that there will be many, many people who support you and uplift you. But there also might be, a teacher or a professor or a counselor that maybe does not see your full potential, and that may be defeating to you. It may even discourage you from trying to do what your intended path was. Not everyone can see your worth right now. Please listen to advice from everyone. Everyone who offers you advice, listen to it, right? And then sort it out. If it's negative, then challenge yourself with it and ask yourself, is this advice coming from someone who knows my worth? Is this advice coming from a place of positive criticism from somebody who really knows what I'm capable of? If the answer is no, dismiss it and continue to work hard for what you wish to achieve. When you all show up for the first day of college, your professors and your peers do not know you. They didn't attend school with you since you were in kindergarten. They didn't have your older brother in class. They aren't longtime friends with your parents' cousin. They aren't going to know that you wore a questionable dress to prom. It's a fresh start, a start for you to assert yourself, knowing your worth. Knowing what a strong, smart, confident girl you are, and making sure they know that about you. Do not settle for people thinking that you are capable of less than you are capable of. Let them know you are capable of much more and willing to prove it to them. Later on, when you find yourself going to a job interview, I promise you, for at least one interview in your life, you're going to find yourself nervous about presenting yourself to someone, hoping they choose you. In those situations, the best ammunition that you can bring with you is your own self-confidence. And that confidence comes from understanding your worth. You may not have the best resume. You may not have the most experience. But if you show up prepared and you show up enthusiastic and confident in what you can do as opposed to what you can't do, that will resonate with that interviewer. Knowing your worth, conveying your ability to do that job, and your willingness to learn and to improve speaks volumes. Because if you understand your worth, your value, and you convey that, you will educate other people of your worth, and they will give you the respect that you deserve. You, as women especially, must command respect. I don't mean demand respect. There is a difference, right? When you command respect, you do it in the way that you carry yourselves, in the way that you interact with people, and in the way your actions make people perceive you. Demanding respect, on the other hand, is basically using your authority to force people into demonstrating acts of respect toward you. Let me give you an example. It is widely known that before a judge enters a room, a bailiff stands up and he announces that the judge is about to enter the room, and he says to you, "All rise," right? So that's not commanding respect. That's forcing people to stand up because I walk into the room. That's not commanding respect in that particular situation. It's demanding it. However, you may have all experienced this when you're at an airport or on an airplane and a soldier walks in. What's everybody do? They stand up and they applaud. That is command. That's because that person has commanded respect by their actions. That's the difference. Understanding your worth, exerting the confidence that is created by understanding your worth, and behaving worthy of others' respect is how you command respect. Let me end the topic of understand your worth with relationships. If you only take one thing away from my speech today, I actually hope it's this little blurb. Let it be this. Understand your worth in relationships, right? Please do not let another person who makes you feel or believe that you are anything less than amazing. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or later in life, a husband or a wife who is not supportive of your goals, who brings negativity to your life, or who is abusive to you in any way, separate yourselves from that person immediately. You are worthy of a relationship that is positive, loving, and equal. Do not settle for less than that. The next thing I want to talk to you about is embracing your path. Almost nobody graduates high school or college and walks into their dream job or their dream career. We live in a time where immediate access to things is expected, but sometimes you have to wait your turn and you have to earn your spot. You know how everyone says, especially to girls, everyone says, you can be anything you want to be. And when somebody says you can be anything you want to be, it's like they've handed you the key to the world, that you can be anything you want to be. Well, when they say that, they leave a huge part of it out. Because yes, you can be anything you want to be if, right? If you set goals for yourself, if you work hard and try to obtain those goals, and if you position yourself in preparation of an opportunity becoming available. That's why everyone's path is not the same. Sometimes what you hope to accomplish takes longer than you expected, right? Sometimes your family must take priority over everything else. Sometimes an opportunity you thought was going to present itself to you simply does not. Sometimes you fail and you have to restart. You must not compare your path to the path of someone else's success. I have a friend when I worked at the prosecutor's office, and she used to say all the time, her name was Susan Gaynor, she used to say all the time that, don't compare your beginning to my middle. And that's true, right? Everyone's path is not set at the same pace. If everyone had the same path to success, you'd have no great first job stories to tell all your friends. Your own path ends up making you the person that you become at the end of that path. Once you achieve the success you've hoped for, you recognize that any hardships or missteps or rejections that you got along that path, actually, those things are what built you into the person that you were able to be to strive to achieve that success that you now have. Sometimes the life we have to live gets in the way of our perfectly laid plans, and that's okay. In fact, some of you might veer off your intended path that will lead you to another career path and a whole new set of goals that you didn't expect. Be open to embracing the path your life takes without comparing yourselves to someone else. And someday your success will arrive and you'll look back and be proud of the curvy uphill road that your path took you. The next thing I'd like to talk to you about is about you as women. Let me talk to you about your life right now, right? My guess is everybody in this room is going to fall into this category. You carry a full load of AP or honors classes. You're active in clubs and music and sports. You volunteer in your community. You worry about getting homework done and projects completed, and studying for regular tests along with ACT and SATs. You come home, you help out with dishes or dinner or laundry. You work a part-time job, and at least twice a year you have to pick out the perfect dress for an event. You worry about being a good friend. You make time to visit your grandparents. And on top of all of that, you may have to make sure your makeup and your hair look good and that you've picked out the perfect cute pair of shoes for your outfit, right? That's right. You know why? That's right. That's right. Do you know why? Because even at your age, that's what women do. Let me tell you about a remarkable woman. Her name is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and she's a Supreme Court Justice. So, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is now I could have chosen from thousands of women to make my point in this speech, right? Thousands of women. The reason I chose her is because, actually I recently watched her biography, and I really actually simply like her story. For those of you who don't know, she's historically been on the Democrat side of things, and she's often been quite controversial over the years for her Supreme Court rulings and her opinions. But I'm not talking to you about her today with regard to politics at all. I'm talking to you today about her as a successful woman. She graduated from Cornell University with a degree in government. When she was 21, she got married to her husband, who she had until the day that he died. when she was 21 years old, they had a baby. The very next year after she had that baby, she enrolled at Harvard Law School. She was one of 9 women who attended Harvard Law School in a class of 500 men. One of those was her husband. While at Harvard, her husband was diagnosed with cancer. For a long period of time, he was unable to attend classes due to his illness. So Ruth would attend classes. She would take notes for both of them. She would come home and relay those notes to him. For his papers that he had to turn in, he would actually orally tell her what to write, and she would type out every paper for him so that he would have a document to turn in. That's called dictating, but I thought you guys were too young to know what dictating means, so I just worded it out for you. So all the while she's doing that, she had her own studying to do at Harvard Law School, and she had an infant daughter to take care of. Later, her husband graduated from Harvard. He got a job offer in Washington, D.C. So she went to Washington, D.C., transferred schools to Columbia, and supported him in his career. Later, she actually tied for #1 in her class when she graduated from Columbia. When she did graduate, it took a while for anybody to hire her. Nobody wanted her because she was a woman. Obviously, someone gave her a chance, and over the years, she became a very successful attorney focusing on gender equality. So during the span of those years, though, she raised 2 children, cared for her ill husband, supported his career, all the while litigating cases in front of the Supreme Court that led to securing women's rights in America. Let me break this down for you. She's changing diapers, she's fixing her husband's dinner, arguing in front of the Supreme Court to expand the protections and the benefits to women. And I guarantee you she was still picking out the right pair of shoes to wear every day, because that is what women do. So later this week, you're going to meet another amazing woman. Her name is Shelley Moore Capito. She is a United States Senator. Senator Capito is a Republican, so if you talk to her, don't tell her I talked about Ruth Bader Ginsburg in my speech, okay? Just kidding. So before politics, Senator Capito was a career counselor at West Virginia State College. She and her husband raised 3 children. Senator Capito, she began her political career actually in 1996 when she was elected to the West Virginia House of Delegates, served in the delegate position for 2 terms. In 2000, she was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, where she served for 14 years. In 2014, she was the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate in the history of West Virginia. She has been successful in her previous career and has risen in the political ranks through the years while managing the tasks of being a mother, a wife, a grandmother, a politician, a spokesperson, a counselor, a champion for small businesses, equality for women, attacking the opioid crisis, and most recently, securing a grant for the completion or the furtherance of Corridor H here in West Virginia. And still, every day, picking out a cute pair of shoes to wear. All right, remember when I told you earlier that you should embrace your path to success? The women I just talked to you about took their own paths. They were not the same, but they each led to their own successes. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my path, all right? Now, I'm in no way comparing myself to Ruth Bader Ginsburg or Shelley Moore Capito. I'm like way further down the food chain. So I did not attend law school right away, right after college. I was finished with college. I had wanted to be a lawyer since I was a young kid, but I finished college, and I'm like, man, I should just probably go get a job. You know, I should probably go to work. So I did. I worked 3 jobs that had absolutely nothing to do with my degree, my passion to be a lawyer, or even my interests. I was a front desk clerk at the YMCA. I worked as an aide at a Elkins physical therapy service, and I also worked at a veterinary clinic. So I'm going to tell you about my veterinary clinic experience. The reason I worked there is because I had a friend who worked there, and she said, hey, we have a person who's going on maternity leave, and we need somebody to fill in. So it was only for a couple of months. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. So Part of my job was I took dogs out for walks and cleaned up kennels, and I sterilized surgical tools, things like that. What I did not know, apparently, is that the vet can determine various things from a dog's feces. And so there were times that I had to actually follow a dog around and wait for him to go to the bathroom so that I could get a sample of it to give to the vet. They gave me a tool. It was a small tool that it was shaped like a spoon, but it was flat and it was small. You know those, like those little cups of ice cream that you get in elementary school, and it has like the wooden spoon with it? That's kind of what it looked like, except for it was plastic. So I'd have gloves on, and I'd go around, I'd follow the dog, and I'm, taking a sample and putting it in the cup, and, I was essentially a human pooper scooper during that time period. I also had to prepare the animals for surgery, and by that I mean I didn't get to do anything awesome like sedate them with a needle or anything like that. No, I had to remove the hair from the area where the incision was going to be for the surgery. And most of the surgeries were male animals that were going to be neutered. So for the dogs, I was instructed to use clippers like that you would use for a guy's haircut, clippers. So I had to do that. But for the cats, I was informed that their hair is too fine, that you can't use the clippers. So I was instructed that I would have to pull the hair out with my fingers manually. So, yeah. So there I was with my fancy college degree in political science and communication, playing with dog poop and pulling the hair from cat testicles. Embrace your path. So, at some point, if you have a job that you feel, man, this is not an awesome job, I want you to think back to this story and suck it up and say to yourself, she became a judge. I can do this. So more of my path. I ended up actually getting married and having a baby the year after I graduated college and still working those jobs. And after a couple of years went by, I ended up actually working as a legal assistant to a wonderful attorney. His name was Richard Cardo, and I love him to this day. I worked for him until he retired, and at least once a week he'd say to me, you need to go to law school. And I would say, I know. But I'm, always thought in my head, I'm thinking, I can't do that now. I've got a husband, I've got a little boy to take care of, I've got Little League, I've got parent-teacher conferences, and my other job at the YMCA still, right? Because that's what women do. So he retires and he sells his business and to another attorney who took me too as part of the package deal. One day it occurred to me that I was already doing the work of an attorney. I just wasn't getting paid for it, and I wasn't getting the recognition for it. I just wasn't satisfied. I wasn't complete. Keep in mind, this is several years after college. So, without telling a single soul, I studied for and took the LSAT, which is the admission exam for law school. And I did okay, right? So, so I applied to one law school. That was WVU, because there was no way that I could go anywhere else if I were to get accepted, because my husband's job was here, my son's school was here, our lives were here, and I got accepted. So then came the really hard part. In law school, your very first year is the most difficult time for two reasons. Number one, you can't set your own schedule. So you have 8 a.m. classes every single day. Number two, they make it the most difficult in order to weed people out who they don't believe are going to be successful as in the academic part of it and moving forward as a lawyer. So they deliberately make it very, very difficult that first year to weed people out. So I was advised to stay in Morgantown that first year. So I had to quit my job and attend law school full time. My son was 9 when I started. So for that first year, I rented an apartment in Morgantown. I attended law school every day. My evenings consisted of phone calls home to my husband and phone calls home to my son to help him with his homework. Then doing my homework and studying and reading. There's a ton of reading in law school. I drove home at least once, sometimes twice on weeknights, so that I wouldn't miss any soccer or basketball or baseball games. And after those games, and after I visited with my son, then I would drive back to Morgantown that night and still have to stay up and study and do my own work and get my papers ready. It's 1.5 hours, it's an hour and a half from here to Morgantown. We're talking about a 3-hour drive that I did that at least 2 nights a week, at least 1 night a week, sometimes 2 nights a week during that time. I also came home every weekend. On Friday, during that time, I prepared meals, and for the following week for my family, I did the week's laundry. I helped my son with any projects or any homework that he had. Sometimes we'd actually be sitting at the table together doing our homework. Then back Sunday for the same routine. And I did that from August until May, my first year of law school, because I had a goal, and in order for me to achieve that goal, that is what I had to do. That is what women do. So for you, as time passes, you're going to find out. Some of you will take on husbands or wives, you'll have babies or you'll adopt them, you'll have jobs, and you'll eventually have careers. You'll juggle deadlines and bosses and colleagues and scheduling play dates and planning birthday parties and fixing dinners and getting your nails done and contributing to your community. Right now, a lot of what I'm saying, it's not a reality for you. It might not be sinking in, but someday when your life is in full swing and all of these things are happening and your life is a whirlwind because you've got to be in 12 different places at one time, hopefully you'll think back to today and you'll say to yourself, that chick at Girls State was right. And she had on cute shoes. Ladies, I promise you, you'll take on more than you think you can handle, and then you'll say, give me more. You will be successful and you'll be amazing, because that is what you as women will do. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to ask you to stay standing because I'm the one that's going to swear you in. It's that time. Everybody ready? All right, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and repeat the following oath of office for me. You ready? I pledge that I will support the Constitution of Rhododendron Girls State, that I will give my full support and cooperation to the Girls State staff, and that I will faithfully obey the rules and discharge the duties of a citizen of Girls State to the best of my skill and judgment. So help me God. Very good.
Have you seen her shoes? She's got like 6-inch heels on. I would break my neck in those. And when you talk about looking for shoes, I look for flat and cushiony these days. Thank you, Lori. Before we close our assembly, we do have another distinguished guest in the audience, and that is the Department of West Virginia past department commander. Would you please stand up, please? Commander Frank Cooley. And I think we have 2 representatives from Boys State here, and I'm really not sure why they're here. They're just spying on us because we have such a great group, and they want to know how they can make their group better. Thank you. Well, pardon me? Okay, why are they here, Papa? Well, this concludes our opening ceremony for tonight. At this time, we are going to dismiss our distinguished guests, but one last big round of applause for everybody this evening.